Hey everybody, this is Wayne Oliveri from the New Bardos, and you're listening to my favorite rock and roll show, Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio. Check this out.
Well, Charlie.
Oh, Danny, you're here?
Charlie.
You're here again?
She's here. Now, she didn't leave us unsupervised like she did a couple of weeks ago.
I heard you needed me.
I know. We needed her. We really did. I forgot we were talking into that little cylinder that was sitting in
the great orb.
the orb.
It's like singing in the rain, which
It
is
looked like my
"Wah,
that microphone
wah."
looks like my gabapentin pill. See? And speaking of which, has Madison returned, or did we scare her away? After
No, we
that
didn't
night?
scare her away. She's coming on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bruce
So-
is nodding his head over there, and
So you
So
will
we
see,
didn't
you will
scare her off?
No, you will see more of her for sure.
excellent. Okay. What's she about? 7'12"? She's
tall.
She's a tall
girl.
young lady.
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
We're just short.
And that could be too.
That's why your kids are short.
Correct. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rock on Radio. Producer Claire is here.
I am.
You are here.
I am.
I know you're here because I brought you here.
That's right.
Correct.
Pick me up.
That's right. And tonight we have a very interesting show. Monsters are such interesting people. We have another deco extravaganza
Yay!
this evening.
Very
And this
nice.
is the first time I'm meeting these men, and these
That's
men
right.
have traveled to come
Many miles,
for this
many moons.
bitter disappointment. I'll just apologize in advance. Rock On Radio is brought to you by O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of East Hampton, Mount Holly, New Jersey. They are the official caterers of Rock On Radio, just like our official dessert provider, Lillipie's of Princeton. They are located inside the Princeton Shopping Center at 301 North Harrison Street and in the aforementioned Princeton, New Jersey.
You're ruining my picture.
Who are you taking a picture of?
How are you guys?
Oh.
You coughed.
Thank you. It's my natural state.
That's true. You really cough a lot.
So, now where? Oh, yeah. Just like Tyndall Road Brewing, the official beer provider of Rock On Radio.
Just skipping around.
And the official light provider is Dee Dee of Dee Dee's Lights. Oh, God, what you with that?
Fire.
I
I
had
told
never-
you.
I had
gave
never
you that
seen that.
reference. I told you the reference.
Look, if I looked at any of you and went like this, what would you think?
I would think like really weird things
Yeah.
right now.
You- right? Yeah.
I would think about other things.
It's a guy thing.
There you go.
But for friends, it was rock, paper, scissors, fire. So
To
Joey.
show friends.
I was never told there was a fourth option.
Well, that's what Joey said.
See, now I know.
See, so if somebody ever goes like
So
this,
when I
Yeah,
try to
it's just-
prompt him that he missed our
I know.
chandler, this is the
So if I'm playing rock paper scissors and I do that, people
Yes.
will understand.
Yes,
but I
if
don't
they're
have to
friends.
explain
look,
that.
I can't promise you that. I can't
He
promise.
didn't get
If
it.
they don't,
I literally just sent it to him.
I would look over there and she'd be going,
see. This feels like a setup.
what the heck is that?
Fire.
I thought she was waving at me with all of her middle fingers. Until she gave me it one time. And then I realized she wasn't.
No, no.
Correct. Dee Dee's Lights. Dee Dee's official chandler of Rock On Radio. She provides those fantastic candles that we put in all of her charity gift donations.
She just sent some down to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
Oh, Puerto Rico.
She shipped a shipment down there.
I see. I'll have to get to the bottom of this.
You have to look
She
it on
shipped
Facebook.
ours down there, or she shipped her own?
She shipped somebody else's.
Oh.
Who ordered them?
Well, that you know what's good about that? Not only does it improve her business and continue her assault on the candle market, but it saved me money because I didn't have to buy lunch.
This is true.
This is a true story. Phoenix Art Supply and Framing. They are on Route 611, otherwise known as Southeastern Road, in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Jenny Schaefer has been providing quality art supplies and framing for more than 40 years. Phoenix Art Supply and Framing. The Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation, of which we emceed the Long Branch Jazz and Blues Festival
Yes, we did.
yesterday, and it was fantastic.
Always a good time.
Always. True story. That's the Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation. Go to jsjbf.org, see what they're up to, or how you can get involved.
That's right.
Asbury Park Vibes. If you go to asburyparkvibes.com, check out what Doug and Diane have to offer, which is a staff of 15 photographers, a podcast. They do website bios and press releases. And if you're a band, solo artist, realtor, anybody who may have a need for any of those, go to asburyparkvibes.com. I mentioned Tyndall Road Brewing, but you started with the fire, and I kind of got off topic there. Tyndall Road Brewing is the official beer provider of Rock On Radio. They can be found at 102 Farnsworth Avenue in Bordentown, New Jersey. Correct.
Well, I only started the fire thing when you
They are-
started on Dee Dee's Lights. So
they
you
are-
already jumped the.
I think they're
The
only a
shark.
block down from the Thomas Paine house.
Yes.
You know, Thomas
yes.
Paine, the
Mhm.
author.
Give me liberty or give me death.
No, that was not Thomas Paine.
Who was it?
Patrick Henry said that.
There you go. Okay, just
There's
checking.
actually a park, a Thomas Paine Park in Bordentown.
He wrote Common Sense.
He wrote
Thomas
Common Sense. He wrote what the heck, that famous quote, the Sunshine Patriot or the whatever during the Revolutionary War. Anyway, but
I
there's
like
a
the give me liberty to give me death one. I got that right.
there is a park in Bordentown where there's a statue of Thomas Paine. And if you
Stand
take
out.
the historic tour of Bordentown, they tell you about Thomas Paine. He died a very unpopular individual.
Really?
Very unpopular individual. He moved to England, back
Oh.
to England, because he was so unpopular in the United States.
Why was he unpopular?
He wrote a whole bunch of things about our new government and country that people didn't care for, and
He wasn't trying to add more things to rock, paper, scissors.
no, that's
That's my job.
that's her job.
Okay, because I imagine that might make you.
There was actually a whole when he did pass away, and after he died, they stuck him in some shallow grave, and when they found him, they realized who it was, and he had deteriorated to nothing but bones. They just picked his bones up, put it in a box, and threw it in a closet.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
historical facts brought to you by Rock On Radio.
Is it like that's finding your skeleton in the closet?
Correct, which is probably where the term came from. So, anyway,
Are you done?
no,
Oh,
I think I got Sinister Footwear. Go to
There you go.
sinisterfw.com if you want to buy some wild, crazy, zany socks that have all sorts of topics and genres and
cartoon
depictions.
characters.
And, cartoon characters, movies, authors,
WrestleMania.
horror movies, wrestling, baseball,
Peanuts.
football, whatever. Peanuts, right. Go to sinisterfw.com. Use the promo code DCR Socks, and you'll get 10% off at checkout. And we are at the 2-track studios of Deco Entertainment.
Yes, we are.
Up until now, and I say that because it may be over after tonight,
Oh no! What are you gonna be
Bruce
thrown
and
out?
Charlie have been kind enough to allow us to take up space here in their fine 2-track studios. What do you think of my picture over there?
I saw that when I came in.
You see that?
I
Yeah,
took that
very
picture.
nice.
Yeah, I know. But it has been blown up to mammoth proportions.
Piercing eyes.
It-
My head is that big? Yeah, thank you very much.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Bruce said to me like 6 months ago, do you have a picture? I'm like, yeah, well, I got one, but it's huge. I don't think you want it. He goes, no, bring it. And I kept forgetting and finally
Where did
last
you
week.
get that picture from? Did you do that, or did Bruce put that on there?
That was from an event I did with Carrie
Oh, okay.
from Wounded Souls when I went down and sat at a table and just promoted the radio show and donated some stuff to her charity.
And she printed your face that
And
big?
she printed my face out, stuck it on that thick
Foam core.
board,
That's right.
and it was behind me on the wall, so people knew who that I
You
was
were.
sitting there. Correct.
They recognize
The
you.
eyes follow you wherever you go in the room.
Pretty
It's-
much.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty.
Of course.
Yep.
I took that. That was the old studio.
Yes, that was in Hightstown.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. And how can they find out about us, Claire?
Well, reading the sign behind you, go to dcror.com, which is the short link for Danny Coleman's rockonradio.com.
And you can find me on Facebook at Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio 2. That's the number 2. Instagram at Rock On Radio, all one word, all capital letters. And we don't flip-flop or any of that. TikTok, flip, whatever it is. We don't do that.
We don't flip flop.
No.
We should start an app called Flip Flop.
And have nothing but sounds of flip-flops.
No. You'd have both sides of the story. Flip flop.
Now, I would love to sit here and tell you guys a couple of quick stories, but we have a lot to get to. But all I'll tell you is I spent most of last week trying to get my 85 and 82-year-old parents. That's their age. They still live together. They just celebrated 63 years of wedded bliss.
Wow.
New car insurance. What
In
an
New Jersey.
What an
Ooh.
ordeal that was. That's all I'll say. And it continued as recently as 2 hours ago.
Were you successful at the end?
Sort of.
Yeah.
But they sent the proposal to my father, who promptly deleted it, I think. So now I got to go through this all again. So that's all I'll go with that story.
You check his trash. Just saying, if he deleted it, it's probably in his trash
Do
folder.
I look like a dumpster? Oh, don't you tell me to go dumpster diving.
No.
All right.
You said it was
Well,
email.
tonight we have. I'm not even sure where to begin. I'm really not, because we have Bruce is here still,
Yay.
which is a rarity.
But you won't be
Hopefully
able
you
to
make
hear
it for a
him.
while. We have Charlie here once again.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. Wow.
Always great to have you.
Thank you, Claire.
It's kind of like your house.
It sort of is.
It's Bruce's house,
Bruce's
but
house, yeah.
you guys are the two tracks. We should be saying thanks for having us or letting us come back. And we have Jason
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah.
There you go. and we have Jefferson
Barry.
Barry. There you go. So we got Jason
Don't mix them up.
and Jeff. Oh, well, you know.
Because of
It's very
two
confusing.
J's.
It's okay. Just point. Yeah,
You're not related to Robert, are you?
I'm not.
Okay. Just double checking.
Oh, that's right, Rob. Yeah.
Robert
Yeah.
Perry.
No,
I haven't
very-
talked to
been on
him
the
in a
show.
while either.
Very talented guy.
Yeah, he's been on the show before.
So, all right. So we have Jason and Jefferson, and they are both Deco artists. So, how long have you been with Deco?
Just a couple months now. This is very new. I guess January was when it was official.
I think
January,
so.
February, yeah.
Nice.
And and the album just came out a couple weeks ago, so this is a very, very new, very current thing. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and before I forget, we have
Yes.
Robin over
Oh,
there.
Robin,
Robin's
yes.
We have
here.
Robin over
Woo!
there. Yay, Robin!
Boom.
All right, and how long have you been with Deco?
About 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Ah,
Actually, I
I-
just
I-
met Jefferson for the first time
oh,
tonight.
nice.
I am the newest deco artist.
Apparently so. So, okay, all right. So then we'll start with you, Jason, because
Okay.
you drove up from where?
From Maryland, yeah. So it's all good.
Maryland.
Maryland, yeah.
That is kind of odd. Over the years, I've had a band from Key West, but they were passing through. They were doing an East Coast tour, so it's not like they drove all the way up here for that.
Sure.
But I did have people. I had one band drive down from Syracuse, and when the show was over, drive back.
Wow, how far
That
is
was-
that?
From here?
is
Yeah.
7
About-
hours.
no, about
5.
From here, it's probably about
About
4.5.
four,
Yeah.
just say
It's like 5 from
Yeah.
where he was at the time. But he drove down and then drove back the same day. Okay. And then
Delaware.
I had an artist drive down from Albany.
Mm-hmm.
We've had them drive up from Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
So
We
we're going
we
to
had
conquer the
Connecticut, too.
East Coast,
Oh,
one
yeah,
state
it
at a
sounds like
time.
It sounds like it.
We had Connecticut too.
Connecticut. Who was
Didn't we
from
have
Connecticut?
We had somebody from Connecticut. Or was that Cranston Dean that was going through? Wasn't he from Connecticut?
Cranston was going
He
to.
was-
No, I think you're right. I think
There
I
was
was
somebody
here for
from,
someone.
Yeah, there
a
was
woman.
someone from Connecticut. Yeah, remember the woman? that
oh,
came to-
Carolyn Morosi.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, today is her birthday. Happy birthday
happy
to Carolyn
birthday,
Morosi.
See?
See that?
I didn't know what I was talking about.
Well, she lived in Connecticut, but New York is her base of operations. All right. So, Resolution Alley.
Yes.
Is this your project?
It is.
Jason,
It is a
or
solo
this-
project. Yeah.
Okay.
I did not name it Jason Wilson because if you do a Google search of Jason Wilson, like 5 million Jason Wilsons pop up. So I was like, I have to kind of call it something. So so I came up with Resolution Alley, and but it is music by me, written by me, performed as much as I can by me. Yeah. I did hire a couple friends to handle the stuff that I can't play, but yeah.
Nice.
All right. So you did you play all the?
I sing, I play bass, and I play keyboards.
Okay.
Hired a couple friends to play guitar and a friend to play drums as well.
I should get my brother on here, Dale Coleman.
Yeah, there you go.
You and Dale go way back.
Didn't know you had a brother. Your
I
long
didn't-
lost
does
brother.
Dale know he has a brother up this way?
Correct.
Yeah.
Danny doesn't even know he has a brother.
I was gonna say. Well, he's a great guitarist. So yeah. Him and Arn Bucheister is the other guitarist I have, and they're both incredible. And then Manny Arciniega is my drummer, and then my friend Laura Van Duzer also sang on it some.
Okay.
So-
So tell us about Resolution Alley.
Well,
and
I
you.
mean, the one review I got, and I remember when I met Charlie and Bruce for the first time, what I told them, I was like, "Hey, you should check this out." People say it sounds like if Tears for Fears and Rush had a baby. So I guess that's kind of what I'll go with in terms of style. I mean, it's what happens when you grow up watching all the '80s pop stuff on MTV, and also like bands like Iron Maiden and Metallica and stuff like that. But these are, like I said, the project itself. These songs kind of were completed over about 5 years. I had been in progressive rock bands and was making it I was trying to be a rock star, and we were doing very slick produced, progressive rock in the vein of like maybe Marillion or something like that in the era at the tail end of the grunge era, and when the new metal scene was coming out. So we really were out of place and didn't have a home, and kind of burnt out on that those bands kind of fizzled out after some time, and I kind of just didn't do the original music thing for a long time, and I kind of found a home in playing in musical theater orchestras, which sounds really bizarre, but
That's cool.
Washington D.C. is the third largest. There's some controversy over that, but the third largest theater town in the United States, behind New York, because you have Broadway, and then Chicago, and then D.C. In terms of locally produced professional theater. And there's a lot of shows that will stop in D.C. first before they go to Broadway, and they'll workshop there. And there's just a lot of theater stuff. And I literally fell into it. Somebody was like, "Hey, we need a bass player to play this production of Evita in a couple days. Can you do it? Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." I know you're a fan. Yeah.
No, I'm aware of
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, I'm sure.
I'm a lot more cultured than I
Well,
look.
I
I'll
believe
just
that.
tell
No,
you.
they told me. That's why. Yeah. Why I didn't shy away from it. But I was like, wow, you can get paid for doing this, for playing, and it was cool. And so that's literally how I make my living. The bulk of my living is doing those kinds of gigs and things like that. And it's cool because, you fall into a long run, nothing is forever. So if you don't like the show, it's going to end eventually, And a lot of those shows are very technically challenging. I play bass as my primary instrument, and a lot of those shows are very technically challenging. So it keeps your chops up and things like that. But a few years ago, a friend of mine was doing a web series, was putting together a web series that was going to be kind of a cross between 50 Shades and Sex and the City. And in series, the main character was going to be a singer-songwriter, and she needed a song to sing. And they're like, "Can you write me a song?" And so I wrote a song, and my friend Danny Stoller, who's an incredible vocalist and writer herself, sang it for me, and it turned out really well. And the web series never happened, but I had this song. I was like, "This is a really good song," and I was like, I can still do this. I can still write. And so I kind of just started writing music again and recording it, and called my friend Frank Marchand, who produced this, who I had worked with before, but he had since gotten a couple Grammy nominations for albums he'd produced and things like that. And he was still around, and he was like, "Yeah, let's work on something." And so we did one song, and it turned out well. And then a few months later, we would do one more song. And so that's kind of what I do, is I like record one song at a time. Excuse me, book studio time for like a day or two, and then just do one song at a time. And then eventually you have enough material for it to be something you can, an album or an EP or something like that, So that's kind of the process, how this kind of came to be. But it's also kind of like, musical therapy in a way. It's like, man, I'm feeling something. I'm going to sit down and write something, and then I call them like, "Hey, I got something new. Let's record," So the songs are all very, very personal, very, they all. I wish I could write about other things, like Iron Maiden likes to write about dragons, and and Marillion, Steve Hogarth from Marillion, he's all very much a storyteller. He comes up with these stories, and I can't do that. It's all got to be about me. I wish I could. I've tried. It just doesn't come out very well. So my friends listen to it and they go, "Dude, do you need some therapy or something like that?" I mean, this is really sad. I'm like, "No, dude." It's like, when I'm happy, I can just sit there and be happy. But when you're down, that's when you want to express, right? So that's kind of the I guess the short answer for what the music's about.
Well,
so.
you said several things in there that kind of piqued my interest.
Okay.
So to speak.
Sure.
Progressive rock,
Yes.
Rush,
Yeah.
bands of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Did you grow up listening to that, or was it you stumbled upon it as you got older? I mean,
no, Rush. It's really funny. I was on a band trip coming back, like when I was in high school. I was in the wind ensemble, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were driving back from Toronto, I think, and my friend loaned me a Show of Hands, the Rush live album, right? That was their '80s one. That was right after Hold Your Fire. So they were in the middle of their big keyboard era, which people don't like. But that was my introduction.
I do, by the way.
Yeah, I do too, right? Of course. Well, yeah, I wonder why, Charlie. Yeah. But I love that. But that was the first time I heard Rush was Show of Hands. And what's that album? That's all the stuff from Power Windows and Hold Your Fire and stuff like that. That was the tour that they were doing. So I was like, this is great. And I was like, and I remember asking him, is this bass player? Does he play with his fingers or a pick? How's he playing with, and all that? Because I didn't really know anything about him. And then from there, and then Presto came out right after that.
Right.
And I saw them on that tour, and that was the first time I saw it. And then from then on, it was just, but for me, my interest in Rush is that era, is that late 80s into the 90s stuff that I just really love. Like, I love Hold Your Fire. I know that's kind of like sacrilege for some people, but I really like that album a lot. And then, of course, the Presto, Roll the Bones stuff, that was
Right.
when so that's kind of my era of Rush that I like. Even though they had all the keyboards, Geddy was always playing. I think the Alex guitar fans don't like him because he kind of got buried and all that. But for as a bass player, I was like, man, he's all over the place on this thing. So
Well, you're talking to somebody whose first Rush show was September 25th, 1980, Permanent Waves tour
okay.
at the Spectrum in Philly.
Yeah.
And I've seen just about every tour since.
Okay.
So I've been in both. I'm an old school Rush guy. So
Sure, yeah.
some of the newer stuff where they got a little out there with all the keyboards didn't throw me as much.
No, I got you. Yeah.
I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't enjoy it as much as the more rock-driven.
Sure.
things.
No, I get that. Yeah, I get
So
that.
I get it. So you travel into D.C.?
I do. Well, D.C. and Baltimore, there's more work for what I do in D.C. There is some stuff in Baltimore. And for me, I mean, literally, I play everything. I've done community theaters, high school shows, college shows. and I've played everywhere up to the Kennedy Center. May it rest in peace. And everything in between. You know, I mean, and in DC, there's always a ton of, in addition to like just the theater stuff, there's always events going on. There's always like one-off stuff. There's just always something going on. So you can kind of find your way into those circles and things like that. But yeah, I'll make that commute into DC.
So you drive. You don't take like the metro. and
I
just
don't.
go?
I drive. Yeah. Well, the last show I did in DC, we did a 12-week run of In the Heights with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and that was just south of DC in Arlington, and actually, unfortunately, the metro doesn't go right like anywhere. I mean, it's a couple of miles. It goes to the Pentagon, but you'd have to walk a couple miles to where the theater was. But yeah, you brave that commute. And I would do that for 8 shows a week for 12 weeks. We did that.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was that was actually the only thing that was bad about that gig was just the
Commute.
drive. Yeah, you know,
Going over that bridge is a pain in the rear end.
It's special. It's definitely special, you know. But that show that was so great. And actually, Lin-Manuel came to see it. We got to meet him, and it was really special.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
Going back again, ask your question.
I was going to say so, but go ahead. I can hold on mine.
No, go. No, I'll just cut you off. That's all right. Is it a Rush question?
No.
Oh,
No.
I was going to talk about Rush.
Go ahead.
That was actually Robin's first concert. I took her to see Rush, Grace Under Pressure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that with Marillion? Did Marillion open that show?
I think you're actually right.
Yeah, I
Yes,
remember they toured
yeah.
on that. Yeah. Big Marillion fan.
Yeah.
So,
What was your first concert?
AC/DC. December 2nd, 1981, I believe.
Wow.
For those about the rock, Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
I was 12 years old. Me and my friend Ed. His mom dropped us off at Madison Square Garden. 12 years old.
Right.
All right.
All right, Mrs. Ed.
Think about that. And then I was hooked after that. You got to remember, concert tickets are like $7.50, $8. I grew up in North Plainfield, so Plainfield is the next town over.
Sure.
Just think about it. I mean, if you know anything about Plainfield, it's not exactly the most safest place. But you know, from like 12 years or 13 years old to 16, 17, we would walk to Plainfield, hop on the train, you know, go to Penn Station, Madison Square Garden, you know, hang out of the train because you used to be able to like pull the windows down, people smoking, drinking, all sorts of stuff going on, and then get back to Plainfield at like midnight and walk home.
Right.
Insane. But so many good shows.
Just for me, the only thing I remember about Plainfield was on Durham Avenue, the Polish Home,
Yes.
which had like 10-cent hot dogs and or 25-cent hot dogs and 10-cent pool table.
And we'd always like bribe like a homeless person to go buy us beer on the way to the show.
There you go. See?
I think it was the brass rail that was on. Bruce, do you remember the brass rail on like Somerset or Park Avenue?
I delivered there. I delivered liquor there when I was in high school. I used to be a helper on a liquor truck. That's how I know all them areas.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, what was your first concert?
Huey Lewis in the News.
Huey Lewis.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yours, Mr. Jefferson?
Simon and Garfunkel, Hollywood Bowl, 1968.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
68? I was going to say probably 69, right? Yeah. 68, they just kind of got their feet wet. Look at you. That's what I've had, like Walter says, I've had lead poisoning since I was 12. I never got to see him.
No, same with me. My all-time favorite band. I mean, I envy people like Bruce.
I've
That
seen
actually
him.
got
I've
to
seen
see
him
them.
3 times.
Yeah. Wow.
2, 3, and Houses of the Holy.
Oh my God.
I saw Robert Plant on a
did.
solo tour.
I
but
saw
never
everything post Zeppelin, like Page, The Firm, Plant, everything. And then me and Rob went to the 40th anniversary Atlantic Records when they reunited.
Oh, with
At
Jason.
1 in the morning with Jason.
Yeah.
And we forgot that the train stopped running at, I don't know, 12:30.
Oh, no.
So me and Rob, we slept in Penn Station overnight. Till the next train was like 6 a.m. the next morning.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
Wow.
I totally understand that. Totally get it. Now, my first concert, what was yours? Okay. My first concert, I know that face says it all.
I did go to Great Adventure and see the Monkees in '85.
I know. I should back. I should
was
back
about
up.
my- that was about my speed.
AC/DC was my first rock concert. But think about this: my grandfather took me to see Steve Martin. It was actually the first show I ever saw. It was when that was going on. The whole King Tut and
Yep.
the arrow through the head
Excuse
at the Garden State Arts Center.
Let's see, my first concert, and you guys will appreciate this, was...
I won't.
Yeah, you won't.
I won't.
At Jadwin Gym, Princeton University, tickets were $7. Emerson, Lake, and Palmer.
Oh my God!
Wow.
And you know who their opener was? Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. They didn't have an opener. He opened for Boston, who I saw there like 3 months later.
Yeah. Well, where I saw Huey Lewis was Meriwether Post Pavilion, which is in Columbia, Maryland. And I want to say it's maybe 2 years ago, they just celebrated the anniversary of the night that Led Zeppelin opened for The Who. It was the only time they ever played together. And I think, you'll help me with this, I think The Who was on their Tommy tour, and Zeppelin was right before Zeppelin 2 came out. And that was like, it was like the 50th anniversary of that show that happened at Meriwether.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. I was not there. I've read a lot about it, you know. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool though. So.
Well, our friend Vinnie Martell
Yes,
from Vanilla Fudge,
Yeah.
he said he still talks to, not as much as he used to, and it's not that like it's few and far between, but he will still talk to Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey,
So,
remember they gave them their first break opening for Vanilla Fudge.
Yep.
It's crazy.
That's funny.
And if you see the pictures when Carmine got Bonham his first Ludwig kit, it's the only time you'll see Bonham with the double bass Ludwig,
Yeah.
identical to Carmine's Vanilla Fudge kit.
Did you ever hear that story about the other guys in Zeppelin? Real quick before we go back to like what the show's really supposed to be.
This is interesting.
They actually, when Carmine gave him that kit, he brings it to a rehearsal or to something.
Oh, so they keep stealing the other bass
And they
drummers?
kept
Yeah.
stealing it because he was so loud. They're like, "What do you need that other one for? You can do it with one." And he was so loud with it that they were
Yeah,
like,
I think Robert Plant talks about that in the documentary that just.
Oh, does he?
Yes, he does. Yeah,
nice. If you're just tuning in, this is still Rock On Radio. I am Danny Coleman. Producer Claire is here. We have Bruce and Robin and Charlie from Deco Entertainment, and we have Jason Miller
Jason
and Jefferson.
Wilson.
Jason Wilson.
Or Wilson?
It's
Miller.
all right.
You know, I know a Jason
I'll
Miller.
answer, that's all right. I'll
He's a
answer that.
contractor.
Yeah. Is he good? Is he
All right,
reliable?
your new name is Bruce. We have Bruce. No, that's Bruce. All right.
Jason Wilson.
Thank you very much.
Jason Wilson. Fine. I'll call you by your real name.
I appreciate that.
And Jefferson Barry here. And so Charlie, how did these guys, and we'll get to Jefferson in a second, how do they come by Deco Entertainment?
I don't know. Jason likes to drive to New Jersey from Maryland. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. And I want. Was it? What show did you come to? Was it Joe's?
No, it was Randy Jackson. From
Oh, Randy
Zebra.
Jackson.
Yeah,
So we
Randy
were
Ja-
doing some shows at a place up in Dover, and Jason came to. We did a show with Randy Jackson.
He drove
from-
all the
from
way up
Zebra.
to
Yeah.
He came all the way up
Vintage
from
Vinyl or
Maryland,
whatever it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dover. I got some stuff.
Yeah,
up
to
there
take
for
to
that.
check
Yeah.
out Randy and to meet us because he knew we were putting the show on.
Yeah.
And gave us CD. Or,
Yeah, it was CD.
Yeah, CD.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Bruce and I really liked it. Like, wow, this kid's really good. I mean, because we like that kind of music.
Yeah.
And I think some time went by before you actually kind of finished it, and we kind of circled back around.
Yeah, yeah. It's
you know.
you guys. I think you guys were, if I remember what Bruce was telling me, that you were kind of restructuring maybe a little bit.
Yes.
And, yeah.
We were trying to figure out. Actually, we're still trying to figure out not how to lose money, but make money in this business. So that was the transitional point.
And I tend to just not go away. It's an issue I've been told.
Yeah, we're like, okay, here comes Jason.
So I was like,
again.
hey, here's a new
We're gonna
tune. What do you
something
think?
with this kid.
Hey, I'm still here.
Jason, I think that's called stalking.
Yeah.
There's a
It's called
fine line there.
persistence.
See,
It's called
it
persistence.
all depends, on
Really?
on perspective,
I have a stalker.
But-
That's not stalking.
No.
I have a stalker.
How's that
I
going?
have a stalker.
Yeah, we share the same one.
No, he just stalks. He only stalks you if you're like dropping me off.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah,
So-
that was kind of
Right.
it. Yeah, and then every 6 to 8 months I'd be like, hey, here's a new tune. What do you think? And yeah, it was, and like eventually, I guess the timing was right, and
Yeah,
it happened.
yep.
Yeah, so it was cool.
All right, well, why don't we do one of Jason's tunes, and then we'll come back and talk with Jefferson a bit.
Cool.
You all right with that, Jefferson?
Cool.
Okay, there you go, man.
I want to
of
hear the
few
Simon
words.
and Garfunkel story while we're
Yeah.
off.
All right,
Yeah.
so Jason,
Yeah.
your disc is under the
Yeah, the artist.
pseudonym.
Yeah, the artist is Resolution Alley.
Resolution
Alley.
Alley.
Yes.
What's with the title? Pieces of Never.
Pieces of Never. That's the song Pieces of Never. Is I'll make this. It's gonna sound like I'm getting into a long story, but I promise I'll keep it brief.
We got 2 hours.
Okay, well, good. my parents are an interracial couple,
Okay.
and and so therefore I am biracial. And when I was born, when I was born, it was an issue. It was an issue. I was born in Missouri, which at the time was the South, and it was an issue. And I won't get into all that, but my entire life it's been about appearance and people trying to figure out, what are you? Are you black? Are you white? Are you Hispanic? Are you whatever? And but in my relationships, people always were like, whatever girl I would date, whatever her appearance was, it would always appear to be like an interracial couple. And you always kind of got the looks, you got the judging, even since I was in high school and even continues today. There's always that judging. People want to see a couple, see a relationship, and if it doesn't look the way that they feel that it should look, they judge it. And it could be, in my case, an interracial thing. Sometimes it happens if you have a couple that's maybe there's a significant age difference. It also happens with same-sex couples and things like that, where people judge it by the optics, and they want to tell you, based on that, who they feel you should be able to hold hands with because it makes them comfortable or uncomfortable to look at it. And so that's kind of what this song is about, in that it was from my perspective coming from that background and from my experience, but I think it can relate to a lot of other people that are dealing with different things like that. So Pieces of Never, the line itself is kind of like people who would tell you, or those who would try to say, you're never going to be happy, you're never going to succeed at what you want to do, you're never going to be whatever, for whatever that motivation would be. And the line is, pieces of never on the ground, because it's like, no, these are, the pieces of people who would say that to you. It's not true. Just because somebody wants to put it down or squash your dream doesn't make it a reality. So that's what the song is about.
Have anybody ever heard of that internet series or Netflix or Apple TV? I don't know when it was on, but I need to watch it. I do. All I keep getting are snips and Ted Lasso.
Oh yeah, it's great. My kids are watching
Right.
it. Yeah.
There's a fantastic scene in a bar where the antagonist is shooting darts, and he thinks he's going to take advantage of Ted Lasso, so Ted Lasso kind of sets him up. And he said, all my life, he said to the guy, all my life people misjudge me, and then I saw the sign on my way to dropping my kid off at school is a quote from Walt Whitman: "Be curious, not judgmental."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He said, and I realized that they've been judging me my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
He said, now if they were curious, they would have said, "Ted, have you played a lot of darts?" And I would have said, "Yes, every Saturday with my father up to the age of 16 when he passed away." And and you can feel the guy get a little smaller,
It's a great scene.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
Great
seen it?
scene.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, I forgot. I'm
Really good
left-handed.
television.
Now if they had asked questions, they would have known,
Yeah.
rather than just being judgmental.
It's really always been stunning to me that people would go out of their way to tell you, you shouldn't be with that person, or you shouldn't follow that dream, or when it's so much easier just to support it or just walk away. I've never understood that motivation of somebody that would do that, but I have experienced it a lot. And I'm not trying to pity them. You grow from these things, you experience it, you grow stronger from it. But but it always leaves me shaking my head. I'm just like, why would you come over and say something? Why would you give me that look? Why would you go out of your way to just be negative like that? But people do it, and instead of, maybe they're happy. Maybe those people are happy doing what they're doing,
Wait, not.
And you're
No,
trying
'cause
to.
if they were happy, they wouldn't do stuff like that.
But I mean, the people who are being judged, maybe we're just happy, and we don't need you to try to squash that. You know. So, but anyway, that's kind of
There you go.
where we came from.
Well,
So that's Pieces of Never.
here is Jason Wilson
Thank you.
and it's Pieces of Never.
We felt their eyes and their point of view. We heard their lies as the air moved. Pieces of never on the ground. Shots of forever all around. They turned away as we walked through the room. They turned in shame from the love that we knew. It looked our way, not the way that it should. It felt our way, different than they thought it could. Shattered hearts underfoot, glass scrapes the pavement. They said it would be good for us. Fractured dreams and the screams that made our minds up. They thought it would be best for us. For what they see, not how we feel. They turned away as we walked through the room. They turned in shame from the love that we knew. It looked our way, not the way that it should. It felt our way, different than they thought it could. They turned away as we walked through. They turned in shame from the love that we Pieces of never on the ground. Shards of forever all around. Dark tears that smear the makeup. Hopes that one day they'll wake up. Someday they'll want our point of view. They turned away as we walked through the room. They turned in shame from the love that we knew. It looked our way, not the way that it should. It felt our way, different than they thought it could. Show them our way to a love that is new. Show them our way to the love that is true. It looks our way that we knew that it could, not the way that it should. The way that it
There we have it. Jason Wilson, a.k.a. Resolution Alley. Pieces of Never. That's the title cut from this brand new release available here on Deco Entertainment. DecoEntertainment.com. What are your websites, social? How do we find you?
ResolutionAlley.com.
Okay.
And my personal site is Jason Wilson Rocks, ROXX, JasonWilsonRocks.com. But ResolutionAlley.com is where you can find all the links and to buying both vinyl and CD. Yes, there's
Ooh.
physical
Vinyl.
media still in there.
Very
Yes, I did
cool.
vinyl. I was really excited. That was fun that day that showed up. I was like, oh my gosh, I got my own record. But of course, it's on all the platforms as well. So
Fantastic. All right. Well, we also have Jefferson Barry here, who has an album that I also a deco artist. That is like an hour now. You've been signed to
an hour,
Deco?
yeah.
congratulations.
You happen to be in the right place at the wrong time, I think, or you may think when we're done. Who knows? Born into a blizzard. Jefferson Barry and the UAC.
And an acronym for the Urban Acoustic Coalition.
There we go. Which, by the way, the Texas Hippie Coalition is going to be here this weekend. They're doing a local show, believe it or not.
I heard that.
Yes.
I heard that.
Okay, well, hey, Jefferson, let's kind of, this is easy. I don't have to really think of anything because I can just give you the same questions I gave Jason. You mentioned that you saw Simon and Garfunkel in 1968.
Yeah.
So you've been interested in music for quite a while.
I'm old as dirt.
Yeah. Well, she thinks I was a waiter at the Last Supper, so we're all right.
Considering I was born in '68, is
See, so
you are old as dirt.
That's rough.
Me or him?
You.
Oh, I thought so. Man, now you're picking on our guest. I told God where to put the rocks, didn't I?
You did.
Yes, I did. All right. So you have this record. Is this your first or?
That's the 4th album in 5
Okay.
years.
Ooh, very prolific.
Yeah,
We've been cranking it out.
You're like the cockroach of the indie music scene. You're a prolific producer. So, okay, tell us about Jefferson Barry, though, first. When did this journey begin? What do you play? What is your
I
instrument?
play guitar. I play guitar and sing, and I've become a producer in putting these records together. And I've recently found a lane that I'm really happy with, creating music videos using AI to, I script out what I want the AI programs to do, green screen the band, and then tell these stories that I have about the city with characters that are completely invented. So it's much cheaper than shooting it. And they've been winning awards at the film festivals. So
Yeah, they're actually very, very cool. Really cool videos.
We were talking about that 2 weeks ago when you were in here, right?
Yeah.
With Bruce and Madison, and we were talking about that you don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on the music.
Yeah, we were
video.
talking about, back in whatever it was, the 80s and stuff. It's just, $500,000 video, $750,000 video, $1 million video.
and
Like, what were these people thinking?
Well, the record companies, what the record companies were thinking is we're going to bury this band so deep they're never going to see a dime. One of the great things about the relationship I've just got with Deco, it's a distribution deal, a one-page contract. It was I'm very, very, very excited to be here. So
Thank you.
It's a one-page contract.
Yeah, our distribution deals are one page, and we expanded a little bit when we do a licensing deal. It's 2 pages. Compared to, a traditional recording contract, is at least 80 to 100
It's a book.
pages. And normally, like what they give you in page 5, they take away in page 15. Then they give you half of that back in 24. Then they take half of that back in page, 78. And yeah. And we talk about this all the time. It's made for lawyers to make money.
Right.
Yeah.
So now they have an 80-page recording contract. The Deco has a one-page contract. We don't even have a contract. They could throw us out anytime they want. And Bruce is like, it's coming.
You want a contract?
So, all right. So you, how did you happen upon Deco? We'll skip around a
So
little bit.
I've been running the Philadelphia Folk Song Society. Basically went out of business during COVID, like so many entertainment providers. They were playing something of a Ponzi scheme, paying for last year's festival with this year's festival tickets. And then when there was no festival, they ended up like $250,000 in debt. So in 2023, I got together with a couple other folks, and we created the Philadelphia Folk Song Society's Musical Artist Cooperative. And I opened up 9 venues throughout the Philadelphia area. We got 60 local artist members, and I've produced 100 shows over the last couple of years, putting these bands in these venues and creating excitement about the Philadelphia Folk Song Society. Having said that, I'm, as an artist, kind of folk adjacent because it's a singer-songwriter thing. I'm telling stories about the city. Stories, the characters in the city are just wild. The songs almost write themselves. And unlike what Jason was talking about, I really like doing this like a paperback novel kind of approach. Very little of, me is in there. But I also got to say that I worked far less hard to get in this seat than you did.
No.
And typically, you're submitting music and you're out there hustling. Stephen DeJoseph was one of our co-op members, and he and I are like we're super tight, and we have like this mutual admiration society. And he turned the guys here, onto the music. Sounded like what they wanted to do, and it's like I've got a lot of product. So to have it out there doing it is, it came together.
So we might have 10 records by the end of the year.
You may have 8 before we're done. So essentially, Jason, he had an in.
No, I would argue that. I think he had his own path, and he worked hard in a different way. You know what I mean? It was, you had your...
Oh, this whole business of the Folk Song Society.
Yeah.
If you've ever worked with a volunteer organization, I mean, it is like a lot of moving parts, and But we just this last weekend had our second successful Philadelphia Folk Festival. We had 17 of our local artists on the stage in front of 600 people, and with one of the
isn't
shows.
that the big folk festival that used to take place every year, like years ago?
62 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is their 62nd year. Yeah.
And that went under.
It did.
Wow.
Well, and they were hiring bands. The former people that were running it were hiring bands that they really could not afford.
I was going to say, they used to have some big name acts.
Yeah. The last year they had Arrested Development there, which is,
yeah.
yes. I mean, it's like folk music in Philadelphia has a really broad thing from, juke jumping, New Orleans kind of stuff to the blues to, my acoustic rock, to singer-songwriters, girls with their heart on their sleeve, the kind of straight-ahead traditional bluegrass. I mean, this last weekend, you could have seen just about any kind of music you wanted. Klezmer, jazz, straight-up jazz. Yeah.
Really?
Nice.
Wow.
But the Philadelphia Folk Festival is phenomenal. And for me, Christmas is more preemptible than the folk festival. Rolling around in the dirt with the other hippies. You just got to do it.
So, okay, so how did you become a musician? I mean, what did it for you?
KHJ Boss Radio. I sat there with an acoustic guitar and listened to Humble Harv and the different DJs on the AM radio playing along to the hits. I was like, 48 years old before I had a guitar lesson.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, no, it was, and it's amazing how many songs you can learn just hum an instrument of the radio. And then, Southern California, late 60s, early 70s.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been in Philly now since the 80s, but then Los Angeles and all up and down the West Coast, and the kind of music scene that was happening was unbelievable. I mean, you hear a lot about Laurel Canyon and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and Joni Mitchell, but then there's also the whole Venice scene with the Doors. And then, of course, you had, these are all people that are sort of usurping the Beach Boys down there. And then a whole other scene up in Northern California with the Grateful Dead and all Jefferson Airplane and all that. I mean, it was the time. The music in that period of time, it was a great time to be young and on the West Coast.
Right. Now, unfortunately, our friend, and he just passed away, but Joe Louis Walker was from the San Francisco Bay Area. And he said that it was so diverse that he was like a 15-year-old kid sneaking out and playing in clubs, blues music, but yeah, with members of the Airplane and members of the Grateful Dead, and because they all kind of hit the same
Right.
circuit,
Like-
you know.
You go to the Mabuhay Gardens, and you could run into Paul Kantner there most nights. Mabuhay Gardens was like total punk. The Milkmen, Black Flag, and Kantner would be there from the Airplane, Starship. I mean, it was diversity in that music scene was just wild.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And this inspired you to play guitar?
It did.
Once you got older?
It did.
When did you get lessons?
And I had this whole thing going in college. I graduated from University of California, Santa Cruz, and went to Los Angeles, and was playing the LA club circuit there, But I mean, it was a time when the guys I was in the band with were from with Pasadena High School, and they went to school with the Van Halen brothers, and so you had a whole music scene there where guys were living in their cars who are way, way better than me. So I figured I had to do something to stay close to the music, and but not sell my soul, which I basically did. And I got into rock and roll radio up in San Francisco, doing promotions and stuff. So I did that for 30 years.
Wow.
So you're a, what's that, Charlie?
I said, wow.
That's cool. Well, actually, today is National Radio Day.
Yes, it is.
There you go.
So just to let you know, we celebrate that too.
Did you give me a gift or something?
No, I'm here.
Oh,
That's the
yes. So I had to go pick up my own gifts.
You have to pick up your own producer for tonight's show. That's it.
Wow. So, okay, so you're pretty well. You know the outside and the inside.
I kind of do. Although now doing this full time, there's a certain point in time where I paid off the last tuition check for my daughter's education at NYU, and corporate America all of a sudden became less attractive. I just don't need this anymore. And for 12 years, I became an inner city high school teacher, and that freed me up to play a lot more music. And also some of the stories I got from people that I was teaching, like I have a song on one of the previous albums called Shattered Glass about stealing cars. I learned that from my students.
Was that in Philly?
That was in Philly. We had a contract with the kids the school district no longer wanted. So pretty rough behavior type thing. And one of the students I had, and I was the faculty supervisor for the school talent show. And this one kid was just like so magnetic, and he was just all over the place, pain in the ass in class for sure. But I had him MC the show, and a couple of years later, my principal comes in and with the Hip Hop magazine, and there is Samir Woods on the cover.
Wow.
Except now he's Little Uzi.
Oh my gosh.
Little Uzi Vert.
Wow.
I taught Little Uzi Vert about hip hop, the origins of hip hop,
Wow.
and African American history. Yeah, so
Wow.
pretty wild.
That is wild.
Did you get any developmental residuals?
No, but the kids that came in later would confront him when he'd come back into the neighborhood. Mr. Berry, you don't really know Mr. Berry, do you? Oh no, he taught me a lot. I just hope that I taught him how to pay his taxes.
Very true.
Only if he listens.
All right.
Oof.
So,
Well, tell us about this album then.
well, the Urban Acoustic Coalition I've had about 17 players on those 4 albums in the last 5 years, and I just know where the real talent in Philadelphia is buried, and I will write and arrange parts for people to come in and play with me. There's some basic guys on there, but a lot of them are, if you're really on the Philadelphia music scene, you know who some of those people are because they're on everybody's record.
Uncle Mike.
Well, you know, and the thing is, if you're a singer-songwriter, you really want to have the same bass player. And Uncle Mike's my boy, for sure.
I'm looking here at some of these players that you have on here, because there was a few years back I worked on several occasions with a couple of session guys out of Philly, a drummer named Grant. Oh gosh, what's Grant's last name? Now I'm drawing a blank. C. Grant or Grant C. I don't know, but he's out of Philly. Really good drummer, and a keyboard player who I'm still friendly with today, named David Zabinski.
Oh, okay.
Very good jazz guy, and Teresa Ratliff. Why does that name sound familiar?
She's from up in the Poconos, and she's the female harmonies on this record, and just a fabulous find. Somebody said you should really get this guy. Thing is, if you want a gal in your band that's going to sing harmonies who doesn't want to be the diva, you know, that's hard to find.
Yeah.
You know, I've had a lot of really, really good female vocalists on my records, and all of them wanted to be
Right.
the diva, and you know, or you know, the not necessarily all up in their stuff, but you know, Emily Drinker's probably one of the biggest names in Philly right now. She played on a bunch of my records. Megan Kyle had a band called No Good Sister. They were the top of the heap for quite
I
a while.
know Megan.
Yeah.
I know Megan. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, we worked together a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Yeah. She's from the same town where I'm from.
she's a great singer.
She's really, really great. Yeah.
Right. So, and who's the sax player on?
Jay Davidson.
Yeah, he toured with Whitney Houston.
Oh, okay.
Ruben Valchera, who plays on that track.
Same track as
Yeah,
Jay.
yeah, he's the keyboard player for Weird Al Yankovic, and a college roommate.
Charlie, you should have that gig.
I know. I love Weird Al.
See?
That's great.
If you and every time Ruben comes to town, I get to see the
Do you?
Weird Al
Yeah.
show. Unbelievable. I mean,
And fantastic musicians.
yeah, they're fantastic musicians, but also the tech, where you have the big screen and you've got Madonna singing a song where Weird Al's voice is coming out of her lips. I mean, everything is so synced up. So, yeah, it's very impressive.
And you recorded this at Retro Studios?
Yeah.
Why do I know that name? Or am I confusing that
It's
with
in
Morningstar?
it's in Germantown. It's a nice
Okay, yeah, it's not the one I was thinking of.
multi-use place. Yeah.
Okay.
And Matty Muir is the drummer in U.S. Rails. They're about to go on tour in Europe, and he's a fabulous producer. Just great ears.
There you go. All right, well, why don't we play a cut from that? Which one would you like us to...
Well, I thought, you know, in terms of the rough and ready kind of rock that I see around the room here, the Sand in My Shoes is a singer-songwriter kind of thing, talking about a delusional cat. But, you know, you see these guys, like, living on the street, and they don't know what day it is. And that's this guy. How'd that sand get in my shoes?
There you go. Jefferson Barry, new album, Born Into a Blizzard. And we'll get into the title when we come back, and then we'll have more with Jason Wilson and Charlie Calv, Bruce, Robin. Robin, settle down over there, will you? You're out of control. All right, producer Claire, Sand in My Shoes.
Last night I dreamed I did a bad thing. I dreamed that I was sincerely sorry. I dreamed that afterwards I wandered the city, sucking on a plastic bottle, a fifth of vodka. I dreamed the sunset only for a few moments. It crept like a cougar on the horizon. was asking me questions. I dreamed he said, young man, you did a bad, bad thing. Now you're gonna pay. No rehab for you. You and your stupid dreams. But he didn't say nothing about the sand in my shoes.
Jefferson, Barry, and Sand in My Shoes. Another album, Born into a Blizzard, that can be found at decoentertainment.com. So what's with the title?
Born on Payday is the sort of the last track on the album. It's my father's version of when I was born, of the day I was born in Schenectady, New York. And one of the lines, I try to name the albums off of lines within the song. So, born into a blizzard, I came on cold on a Friday night way upstate. That's where Born into a Blizzard came in. It's not my mother's favorite song at all.
Imagine that.
My father got paid on payday, right? Just as I'm being born on January 15th. You get paid on the 15th and the 30th or every other Friday. And when I was born, it was Friday the 15th. So my father had a check, like most people, and went to the liquor store instead of coming and get my mom. So because he knew he'd be in there. Back then, fathers would just sit, in the waiting room, smoking Lucky Strikes and pounding down the old dirty bird. So yeah, that's how I came up with that.
See that? Interesting stories. Never told anywhere else.
That's right.
But
I was pregnant in a blizzard, so I almost gave birth in a blizzard. I was 3 days out, so I know how your mother felt.
Yeah. And it was like, I was late too.
Yeah.
So.
See?
Good times.
I thought you were going to...
Expound on that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No, she was
Thank you,
due on the
producer
blizzard
Claire.
day, but we didn't. We didn't.
Yeah.
Their father at the time was madly shoveling our long driveway to make sure that in case we had a call.
To make sure you could get out to drive yourself to the hospital?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I guess where storytelling started with me was my father. My father could spin a yarn. Oh my gosh, it was wild. And I don't know if this is actually true, but like everybody else in Schenectady in the mid 50s, he worked for General Electric, and he goes in there, and he'd been a sports writer for the Stanford Daily, where he went to college, and got this job writing promotional brochures and stuff for General Electric. So they transfer him to Schenectady, and the guy goes, "Listen, all I can tell you is you better work harder than the last guy did." All he did was work on his novel. My father goes to the desk where he's going to be working. He opens the drawer to put his pint in there, and opens up the drawer, and there's a manuscript for Player Piano by Kurt Vonnegut.
Wow.
My father replaced Kurt Vonnegut at GE.
Oh.
Isn't that a line from Back to School? What do you know about Vonnegut? Yeah. So Jason, where did you record yours?
Yeah, I was once again Frank Marchand, who's an amazing
you mentioned
producer.
that name
Yeah,
before.
Glen Burnie, Maryland is where he keeps his studio. Like I said, he's got a couple of Grammy nominations for some of his work that he's done, and he's traveling most of the time now as a live sound guy with bluegrass groups, and that's kind of actually how he makes the bulk of his living right now, which is how I was able to afford to go record there, because he's not like do you know Frank?
No, but you recorded these songs one at a time.
One at a time, yeah.
And you recorded them live?
No, it's messed up. My guys, they mock me on the regular because of my method is so messed up. I roll in, and because I don't actually have a band that I like play with regularly. I mean, we go into the studio, and my drummer shows up first, and I write most of my stuff on keys, right? So I'll be like, here it is, here's what we're doing, and I'll talk him through it. and it'll be like, yeah, we do this, and then there's four bars of this section, 16 bars, and then we go into the 9/4 section, and then and he's like, what, why, But Manny is an amazing drummer, and he's all over it. And so we record his parts while I'm just doing a scratch on keys and trying to sing along. And then our guitarist will come in. Usually it's been Arn lately, Arn Buchheister. And I'm just sitting there and I kind of just talk him through it. This is kind of what I'm hearing. This is what we're doing. And we work together on the guitar parts. And then once those guys are done, then I do all of my stuff. So I actually do the bass track, usually after they're done. And then that's usually day 1, and then day 2 I'll come in and do keys and vocals, and then I'm done, and then Frank will mix it on his time and just start sending me mixes, and
then you'll go to the next song and do the same thing again.
Yeah, but it's not like day to day. I mean, then like just down the road, I'll just whenever budget and motivation comes along, I'll do the next one. Which I think when I listen through the album, it kind of creates a different vibe to it because they weren't recorded as one big session, one big project, and they were recorded differently. It tends to sound, each song has its own sound to it.
Sure.
Right.
Because like we'll use different drums, we use different cymbals and stuff just based on like the mood of that day, or the vibe of that song on that day, and so while it is all me still, so it sounds cohesive. Each song does have its own sound and its own kind of feel to it, and I think that's why, because I do it one at a time. It's a lot for me. It really is stressful. It's not a relaxed process, but also for me, it's like the pressure for me helps me get it done. And for me, I need that pressure to, like that song we just played, Pieces of Never. I really was having a hard time with the lyrics for that, and I just said, you know what? I sat down and I was like, it's 11 o'clock. By 12, I'm gonna have this done, and I just set that pressure for myself, and I just sat there and came up with it because I was like, you kind of start to write, and I'm gonna get online here, see what's going on Facebook. Okay, and then I'm gonna. I was like, no, I'm turning everything off, and I'm gonna sit here and do it, and I have to do that to myself too. For the juices to flow and for it to come out. So with the guys, I mean, and you know how it is too. Like sometimes you're trying to communicate musical ideas that are in your head, and you're like, oh, it's and you're hoping that the guitarist or the drummer you're working with can translate that into what they can play, or something. I'm like, oh yeah, it's perfect, great, exactly, So yeah, it's a weird process.
Do you send demos out to the drummer first?
Sometimes I will, but a lot of times no, we'll just walk in and I'll say, this is what it is.
Wow.
And I talk them through it, and
yeah, but that's kind of fun and spontaneous then.
It does create that, yeah. It's like I said, it's just what I do. It's just kind of my thing, and it's just kind of as a result, like I said again, of budget and schedule and all that kind of stuff. But it's just kind of become my way of doing it, and they all kind of just know, okay, this is what Jason's about, now, so. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, it works. It's been. I'm really happy with how it all turns out. And like I said, but Frank is an incredible producer, and the sounds he gets, and his drum room is amazing. Every piece of percussion has a story. Like the drum kit on my album was Jeff Porcaro's touring kit for a while.
Wow.
So all the Africa that has been played on that kit, over the years, but that's so that's the drums always sound amazing, but like I said, each drum has a sound to it. So
it's interesting how different people do it differently. And even based on the musician or the band or the time period. Because obviously years ago there wasn't even that availability to do what you do today. You guys would just all go in the studio and, have to get it on the first, second, or third take, and that was it. There was no Pro Tools. The only editing was getting out the razor blade to either do cocaine or cut tape up.
That's right.
I go out weekend one and play all the songs that I've written. And we just like move things around a little bit so they're a little closer to the click than I can play naturally. And then I will send those out to my drummer and bass player to ruminate over for a while. And then we'll go in 3 songs, 4 songs a weekend where we're laying down bass and drum tracks. And then I bring everything on top of that.
Yeah. That's
You save money doing it that way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And also too, the availability of guys to come in, like to do it, just really spontaneously without rehearsals or anything. It's like it's hard.
Yeah, it's.
But there's so many ways to skin the cat.
Sure.
Well, with this style music,
Yes.
do you gig a lot?
I have never done a Resolution Alley gig. Okay. I'm dying to do a Resolution Alley gig. I just haven't. Again, it's with my work schedule. It's kind of hard, and all the guys, all the musicians I know from that scene, from that theater scene, stuff like that. So people get booked for 8 weeks at a time, and 12 weeks at a time. So you have to find those windows when everyone's available. That is an excuse. I mean, but you can find people. But also my music is very arranged and very technical, and I do find it hard to find musicians that are interested in learning the parts like that. It's like I'm not looking for somebody just to come and jam. I need you to learn the part. And it's not easy music. I mean, it's technical music because it's prog rock. It is what it is, and so that's been a hurdle. But I'm hoping to change that now that the album's out and everything like that, and we've got some windows here. Where schedules are kind of lightening up a little bit. I'm definitely hoping to change that.
You got to pay those guys too.
And you got to pay them. I wasn't going to say that, but yes, that's the thing too. When you're a solo artist, it's not a band, it's not a group effort. It's you and your. So yeah, that's.
And if you're going to pay them, you got to find somebody who's going to pay you.
Yes,
right?
That's right.
$800 people are lining up to pay $800 a night.
Mm-hmm.
They're not.
That's right. That's 100%. No, it's true. So.
Well, let's do some more music.
Cool.
Jason, which of the remaining two?
You want to do the B-side?
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
that's the one that we
we
played
played
a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
right?
cool. Yeah,
it's well worth repeating.
Cool. Yeah, I like that tune.
You have that, right, Claire? I sent that to you.
Cool.
If you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio, and our guests are Charlie Calv of Deco Entertainment, Jason Wilson of Resolution Alley, and Jefferson Barry. Jefferson, I forgot to ask, what are your websites and things? How do we find you?
JeffersonBarry.com.
Okay.
Like the president, like the fruit.
Perfect. There you go. Well, here's another cut from Pieces of Never, and it's a song called
The B-side.
Still it all sounds the same, like similar occasions. I tried writing out the pain, sharing every hope and tear. It's elegant but not eloquent, I fear. I don't wanna be your one-hit wonder, don't wanna be in your top 10. Perfect melody that you used to dance with way back when. Just flip it over and you'll find me on the B-side. 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 And you'll find me off the beat. Can't find the beat. Can't seem to find the perfect rhythm. But now I'm on the beat. Now I'm on the time. Still can't find the words to change your mind. Scratching the moments of another year. It's elegant but not eloquent, I fear. I don't wanna be your one-hit wonder, don't wanna be in your top 10, or that perfect melody that you used to dance with way back when. Just flip it over and you'll find me on the B-side. And you'll find me on the B-side. And you'll find me on the B-side.
B-side.
It's still going. Go ahead.
Oh,
You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah. What kind of?
We're a little preoccupied.
I fed you pizza. I
That's
was
by
calling my name across the room.
Jason Wilson and Resolution Alley, another deco entertainment artist.
We're just cranking them out, Danny.
I'm telling you.
Are.
Speaking of that, Charlie,
Yes, sir.
you guys have you have signed. You guys just don't go out and sign anybody. This we know.
No.
know, a lot of-
And we've never gone out looking for anyone either.
Right. But this year, you have signed maybe perhaps more than other years.
Yes.
And
My theory is I want to double it every year
okay,
till my head explodes.
nice. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, and
It's an
and
interesting
obviously
way to
and
look
it
at
gives us the ability to grow, add more staff, get more people involved in it, and like I think we always say, it's trying to grow a community of people. It's great hearing these two guys, because they've just met each other tonight, and the mutual admiration for certain musicians, and they both, I forgot the woman's name that you mentioned that they happen to both know.
Nick and
Nick
Kyle.
and Kyle.
Yeah, and that's exciting, and be able to bring them together and other artists together and just have a place where everyone can kind of hang and chat about music and try to figure out what this new music business is, and how do you get stuff out, and how do you make it profitable if you can, or at least help folks not waste money in this business, and help guide them, the best that we can, and the mistake we made in the first couple of years, we liked a lot of younger acts, like a Jason, but we quickly realized we can't finance everything because we were literally, digging a hole that was pretty deep, so we kind of diversify and kind of figure out how we can do that and help folks with that and keep the what we call like the legacy or heritage acts that kind of have that following and just have them all kind of in the same place, and it gives everyone a little bit of visibility, which I think is cool. And then hopefully, and even hearing Jefferson talk about the the folk thing that he's involved in, it's it'd be a great avenue to get some of our acts together with that and and we're starting to do that with the venue in New Hope. I think on September 20th we have Joe Sarasano, who obviously you guys know, along actually with my son, and Stephen DeJoseph I think is going to come down and play that night. So there you go. You got three kind of deco artists playing together, and then we chatted about another artist that we're just talking about that we could probably have Jason come and play with, and just keep doing stuff like that where we can get everyone involved with what everyone else is doing and have fun, and it's kind of a place to kind of commune.
Well, and yeah, because when we first started talking deco entertainment, you did have all the legacy acts. You had the Bouchards, you had the Mark Steins, and Tiffany and Sass Jordan, and you had these acts that had been around for a while. I think for a brief time, or you were talking about you had Fog Hat. There were.
Yeah, we are. There's the Slow Ride license plate right behind you, and we remained very very close with Linda and Roger. That just didn't work out, And I think we're still going to connect on something because we just keep running into each other, and they love what we do, and obviously, I give a lot of respect to Roger for keeping that name going, 50 plus years. We just went to, but another thing, so we had Keith Roth, who's on our label, and Keith did a Foghat show out in Long Island, and we went to go see them at the Keswick a couple weeks ago, so we get to combine, our acts with other folks that we know, which is cool. But yeah, we did have a lot of the heritage legacy acts, which is great. We had the Guess Who, 10 years after, like I said, half of the Vanilla Fudge between Mark and Carmine, and working with Vinny as well. and Chasm from Utopia and the Meatloaf, and we had the Meatloaf guys minus Meatloaf.
You got Caleb.
We got Caleb, who's awesome, man. If you guys get a chance to go see, if you're a Meatloaf fan, go check out the Neverland Express with Caleb. I mean, it's like watching a young Meatloaf, and Paul, who runs that whole thing over there. I mean, it's basically Meatloaf's band. It's Paul and John Michelli and Danny Miranda, and I forget the girl's name. I apologize.
DeVito?
Great. No, it's Robin. You remember who's the girls with the Neverland? Not Kylie, but we just met her husband. Her husband is I can't think of his name now, but he was in Grease, the original Grease.
Okay.
He came to our show in Vegas not too long ago. But anyway, it's a great band doing the Meatloaf stuff. I mean, it's fantastic. So you basically got Meatloaf's band without Meatloaf, unfortunately, but they're keeping the name alive and keeping the music out there, which is cool.
Now, how important is it for, and I don't care who goes first, for guys such as yourself to have a Deco Entertainment in your corner?
Well, I have to say it's and for my part, it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. For the one thing that I tell my friends, it's like it's weird because the support and the belief that they show for their artists is it means so much, because it's like, yeah, we can talk about the advantages of the distribution and the advantages to the promotion and things like that. That's all very real and that's very true. But for me, the thing that really has hit me has been just having somebody who truly believes in what you're doing. Because it's easy for me to sit here and put a product out and say, I think it's good, and so forth. But to have somebody like who I didn't know, it's not a friend who's just like, yeah, go Jason, but to truly believe in what you're doing and give you the support to try to help get your music out there, that means more to me than anything else. It's been really exciting. It's been really it's been surreal in a way, because you know how it is. Like when you're a musician, you spend so much time selling yourself to the club to get a gig. Are you going to draw people? What kind of stuff do you do? Selling yourself to the radio station or whoever to play my stuff. Please play. So to have somebody go, hey, I heard this and I think it's really good. I'd like to offer you something that I think would be mutually beneficial. That was it was an amazing thing, and it continues to be. So I have nothing but appreciation for what Deco's doing. Okay.
With any product that you're talking about, there's certain marketing strategies that you just have to have: pricing, promotion, positioning, and distribution. And the promotional strategy as we go on into social media, the decline of radio, how important is that? Getting out into these music conferences, positioning myself as a thin slice of the folk community, because the stuff I do is not really folk music. But having a distribution strategy, I don't care what you're doing. Are you going around to record stores putting your stuff up on consignment? That's about the extent of it. I got a website. Yeah, I've got a store. Do I sell much out of it? No. Do I sell stuff at shows? Apparently, yeah, a little bit. But having people that are really focused on national, international distribution is a huge piece of the puzzle. There really is, and everything I've seen has been, really, straight up.
Well, and that's the thing. You kind of hit you didn't hit the nail on the head, but you kind of hit all around it. In today's climate of what I like to call white noise, because you have an album, in Sarah Sano's words, even the kid that bags my groceries has a recording studio and probably put out an album. So there's all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah.
Ton of it.
And the battle is to get you to stand out so that people will listen. So you almost need a Deco.
And it's not about how good your music are. It's really not. Charlie, what were you giving me a number the other day? How many songs does Spotify get a day?
Yeah, it's like 140,000 songs uploaded every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
That's massive.
That's twice as much as it was 2 years ago when
massive.
Marzano said.
It's really easy getting lost
Yep.
One of the things
And you get lost quickly.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you put it out and boom, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's history.
One of the things that Frank, my producer, was telling me, a phenomenon he's seeing is people are recording at home and then they'll send him the tracks and go, "Can you mix this and make it sound great?" You know, and they're sending him tracks that maybe aren't the best quality or whatever, and they're like, and that's the thing. I mean, if you have the skill to record it, but you don't have the skill to mix it and do all the things. And he's kind of been dealing with that quite a bit.
And that's even if they go through that process. Sometimes they just upload what they've recorded.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, me and Bruce were just having the conversation because we're kind of in a transitional area, trying to figure out our distribution strategy and stuff going forward and stuff. But it's like, if you use like a CD Baby, DistroKid, TuneCore, we can record something here right now, and it'll be out 2 days from now. No matter how good it is, there's no gatekeepers anymore.
Yeah,
which is it's great to have the accessibility to get your music out there without some A&R guy telling you whether you're good or not, right? I mean that's great, but they were kind of also the gatekeepers to make sure stuff was somewhat quality. I'm not saying the band had to be great or whatever, but it's just there was some kind of control of what the consumer heard, and hopefully to some sort of quality level. And all that's gone. I think we talked about it on the last show. I mean, like A&R, what are they doing? They don't, and I have a really good friend who was an A&R guy for years that I worked with. And, like I said, he had signed Britney Spears and a couple other big acts. And he got out of it because he was just like, I'm he's older. And I think his last job was at Atlantic. And he's like, I'm just sitting there. And all anyone's doing is they're all kind of younger kids at their computers seeing, who's got the most YouTube streams, who's got the most that, and that's the A&R. It's not developing an artist.
My brother-in-law used to have a college roommate, buddy of his, who went on to become an A&R guy back in the days of MySpace. And this guy's job was to go to MySpace at the time and find all the bands that were taking the most hits and then going out to see them.
Yeah.
And seeing whether or not they were worth their time and signing or
But
offering.
but that's the thing. The bands that were getting the most hits,
Right.
not necessarily. So those are the bands that had the most friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's funny. And the same A&R guy I'm talking about when he was at Atlantic, I don't know who the president was at the time. He said, it was the strangest thing. He got a call. I think he said it was like New Year's Eve or something. I'm not going to name his name, but he called him up and said, "Hey, you got to go sign this band." And he was like, "Who?" And he gave the name. It's like, and it was a college a cappella group. And he was like, "Are you're joking, or like you're drunk right now?" And like, "You're joking?" "No, I'm serious." Because I had like 1 million hits on YouTube. And he went out and at the request and signed them, and they have become, pretty successful in terms of that. Without naming, it's like a college a cappella group that's pretty big. He kind of took it and made it into something interesting because of the songs that he was still A&Ring it, where he's bringing in the songs for them to cover and sometimes mixing it with the original artist. So it turned out to be a kind of a cool project. But the whole basis was he thought the guy was nuts. It was like, you're drunk. You want me to go out and just sign a bunch of college frat kids to do a cappella music because they got 1 million views on YouTube. But that's what A&R turned into.
Well, I told you with this show, I was put in contact probably about 10 years ago now with the vice president in charge of all programming for Sirius XM. And first question he asked me, "Do you have a sponsor willing to pay at least $600 an hour?" And I said, "No." He said, "Do you have at least 50,000 followers on social media?" And at the time I had like 10. And I said, "No." He said, "Can't help you."
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, I could pay to have followers."
True.
And if let's say I pay and get 50,000 followers, and then my Alexa rating show I have 6 people listening, I'm full of baloney. So why would you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's easier for us to sell to advertisers if you don't have a $600 an hour sponsor, we can get you one if they say, well, look, he's got this.
Right.
So essentially, it's nothing but BS.
Yeah.
Advertising's always been about that. Always been about audience delivery, though.
Sick. Well, Born Into a Blizzard by Jefferson Barry is another tune you want us to play there, Jefferson?
I think we should go to the Reuben thing because it's an interesting story. 30 miles to the beach. I'm in L.A., just out of school, and I'm touring, at these various clubs. And we played the Moose Lodge El Monte, which is out in the San Bernardino Valley. And I met this girl, and which we were doing. If you're playing music for a little bit of money, at least you go meet some cute girls, right? And
Isn't that why we all got into music in the first place?
100%.
Point of this. Yeah.
100%. The delusion of being a rock star. I mean, that was a delusion. The fact that you could get girls, you had evidence of that almost like that. So anyway, I meet this girl, and I was from the West Side, and she's out there, and she'd never been to the beach. She's like 17 years old and had never been to the beach. And so the song's called 30 Miles to the Beach. And I picked up, I got with Ruben when he was off tour, and his Latin jazz band is just killer. The guy who was Ray Charles's bass players on this track, and I brought it back, and Jay Davidson laid down the sax on top of it, and it came out real sweet.
The band was playing at the Moose Lodge El Monte. Conley had landed us a 3-6 show. In between sets I met a dark-haired honey, somebody's daughter whose eyes said hello. She wanted to know where we were from. She wanted to know more about me. She said she'd never been to the west side of town. I said it's only 30 miles to the beach. I wanted to know how it could be that he never got around to showing her the world. Girl, it's only 30 miles to the beach. Night she was dancing so slowly. Her eyes and mine, they met as I sang her my songs. She was still there as the band handled load out. She was still there as Daddy drank at the bar. Wanted to know when we her door. She told her dad, and she said, it's only 30 miles to the beach. What she thought of the sand, hand in hand by the sea. Her young man's thoughts of the romance can drift with the waves. She said she'd stay 30 miles from the beach and me.
Would you care to repeat that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
that's
Rude.
there was some in-studio banter. Banter being the word that was bandied about. This is Rock on Radio. My guests are Charlie Calv, Jason Wilson, and Jefferson Barry. And what do you have coming up, Jefferson? Well, what's your website and everything first?
It's
again?
jeffersonberry.com, like
Okay.
the president likes the fruit. And we've got a gig this Friday, actually, at the Grateful Day Trippers Family Reunion in Sellersville. We're kicking that show off. We've got Uncle Mike had hand surgery, so we're going to be playing with the illustrious EJ bass. And I guess this happened. This is airing on Sunday, right?
We
So
get
that's
time
the
travel nowhere.
That's the show that you missed on Friday. On September 30th, we have a show at the Well Crafted Beer in Lansdale. This is a series I'm producing where we take touring artists coming through town. What'd you do last Tuesday? Nobody knows what they did last Tuesday. But if you've got a show in New York and you're headed down to D.C., show on Sunday in New York, show on Thursday in D.C., what are you going to do for Tuesday? And so we've been booking national touring acts, and we're the local act that's supposed to sell the tickets on Tuesday. So we'll see how that
Feel all
works.
that. Now, how about you, Jason? Website and everything?
It's resolutionalley.com. Nothing coming up gig wise. I mean, like I've mentioned a couple times now, I'm always doing something in DC. But as far as a Resolution Alley gig coming up, nothing on the books right now. But just keep going to the website, and something will come up soon. So hopefully,
Nice.
There you go. What do you have going on, Charlie?
Me, like gigging wise or
Yeah, you-
deco wise.
You taking Angel on hiatus?
Yeah, we're back out in October with Ace Frehley.
Oh, okay.
And then I am doing. I think you mentioned Texas Hippie Coalition.
Yeah.
I think I'm opening one of a deco artist, Jeremy Edge Project, who I sit in with from time to time.
Okay.
I think if you're thinking arties, I think we're opening for the Texas Hippie Coalition there, and then down in might be in Maryland. Come to think of it, so I'll
let me know.
let Jason know. So I do that from time to time with those guys. We got a couple shows coming up. Kind of keeps me, one foot in the playing arena. Literally just last night, I finished the keyboards for the new Angel record.
oh wow.
So that
Where are you recording that? Oh, you're doing it at home.
I'm
guess,
doing
right?
that at home. I mean, I just finished. I mean, Punky was up here a month or so ago, and we got most of the stuff done. And I just had some buttoning up work to do because they start the guitars down in North Carolina, I think, on Monday. But that record probably won't be out till beginning of next year, I guess. And that's it. And then, look, man, Deco keeps me busy, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's always something going on here and always something new to explore, new artists to talk to, and older artists to breathe some life into, make sure they're still breathing sometimes, see if they can still fog a mirror and, keep them going. So, yeah, always busy with stuff like that.
Like you do for me during the show.
Right.
Make sure I'm still alive.
I do.
Because I'm, decomposing right in front of
Well,
you.
that's true. But I don't make sure you're alive.
My ear fell
That's
off.
up to
It's
you.
stuck inside this headphone.
One of the I think I am actually sitting in with Dee Dee Verney and the Cadillac Band at the House of Independence in
in Asbury Park.
fun.
December for his record
nice.
release. He's doing a record release party. I think one in the New York area, one in Los Angeles, one in London, and one somewhere else. So I will sit in on this one, I believe.
Okay.
And I'm actually in the video that comes out on Friday for the second single with Reverend Horton Heat,
Oh,
a duet, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Is it Two of a Kind? I think, was that a Bobby Darin song? It's a cover song that Dee Dee and if you guys can picture Dee Dee, like the master of like thrash metal bass playing, singing like Brian Setzer with this 8-piece horn section. It's interesting and it's fun. It's fun, and he's got a great band. I sat in with them last year and with Angus Clark from Trans-Siberian Orchestra and Jason
Coons Clark.
Yes, Coons Clark Band, and Jason Bittner, who was an amazing drummer who played in Overkill for a while. And he's got the Waiting on Mongo guys, the horn players, did the last show I did with them, and I don't know who's doing the show in December. But and Ingo, the drummer, I don't know if Ingo, do you know Ingo? Marte, good drummer, and also like the drum tech that shows up like on everybody's tour, sort of guy. Yeah, it's like every time I turn around, it's like there's
Ingo.
Yeah. So just having fun.
So all three of these guys are busy. Well, we've got time, I think, for one more song each, right? Claire,
Yep,
just
we
about?
do. Just about.
So, Jason, where do you want to go here, sir?
Why don't we do "You Are"?
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to preface that in any way?
It's just a love song. Simple like that.
There you go.
Just another silly
It's
love
a
song.
progressive rock love song, so there's a little bit more involved. But no, it's just a love
So
song.
it's confused love.
Yeah, erratic love
Yeah.
in weird time signatures. Yeah,
You're fast or slow.
yeah.
You're kind of in between and
yeah.
syncopated.
It changes a lot. Maybe a little
That's about
something
right.
surprise ending. You never know.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's right.
Jason Wilson, otherwise known as Resolution Alley, off the album Pieces of Never, and a song called
You Are.
I closed my eyes and it came over me. Thought I saw your face, but it was just a dream. Doesn't mean that you are dreaming of me too. Found another superficial runaround. Watch me fall off another silly merry-go-round. When I hit the ground, will you be there to see that I keep falling, I'm falling for you. I keep falling and falling. I don't know fate or what's written in the stars, but I know you are, I know you're right for me. Is it bad luck that always keeps you so far? But I know you are, I know you're right for me. You are, I know you're right for me. You are, I know you're right for me. I shuffled my feet and found my way around. Careful not to let affections get too loud. Don't make a sound. Do you hear it too? I know you're right for me.
Playing the hot corner, putting it in the seats. The people out there did not care, they only gave him grief. Yeah, best there ever was, always in the zone. But there's no such thing as always. Philly eats its own, yo, Philly eats its own. Shown up will be tough, Philly eats its own. Never can get enough now. Larry knew just what they wanted, a wise guy, none to find. We laughed at his misfortune as Mo poked him in the eye. Just the streets from 3rd and South, Larry left his home. He knew our love was in doubt. Philly eats its own, yeah, Philly eats its own. Around here you better watch your step. Philly eats its own, no matter your success. Nobody likes us, we don't care. Play the game from both sides, a game of truth or dare. Got no service, so she made her way to France. Jocko left when he was a kid, kinda like the Fresh Prince. Nobody ever booed him, but they would if they had stayed. The music may have changed the world, but the world is where they play. Yeah, Philly eats its own, feasting on its stars. Philly eats its own, the truth is who we are. Yeah, Philly eats its own. Ooh, yeah, Philly eats its own.
Philly Eats Its Own from Jefferson Barry and the album called Born Into a Blizzard. And before that, we had Jason Wilson and
Resolution Alley.
thank you, Resolution Alley, with their tune You Are, here on Rock On Radio from the 2-track studios of Deco Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Charlie, thank you, and Bruce, for putting
You're
this
welcome.
together. And thank you, gentlemen, for
Yeah.
traveling such a long way
Oh,
to
thank you so much for having us.
to hang out with us and
Yeah,
spread the word about your fine new releases.
Good times.
Yeah, thank you again.
Good. Website again, real quick.
ResolutionAlley.com.
JeffersonBarry.com.
DecoEntertainment.com.
DecoEntertainment.com. You can hear Rock On Radio at Deco Entertainment every Sunday night at 7 o'clock
And the whole week.
and all week until the next week when you can't hear the show that you hear tonight. You hear a new one.
That's right. Well, Garden State.
We have Radio Garden State
Thank you.
plays the Rock On Radio 10 a.m. on Monday morning. So if you missed part of this tonight, you can hear it again tomorrow, as well as the Penguin Rocks and our affiliates over in the UK and all across the United States.
Sounds
So,
good to me.
That's fantastic. Next week, we have Amber and Tony, right? Amber and Tony West.
I thought his name began with an A. Anthony. I guess so, yeah. Amber and Anthony.
You're all over it.
Tony,
Amber and
Anthony.
Anthony
I
West.
knew it was 2 A's.
You had it. You had it.
Throw Tony in there. Confuses me.
Yo, Tony. So, all right, well, Jason, thank you so much, man. Driving all the way up
No,
from
anytime.
Maryland.
This was great fun. Thank you
And
so much.
thank you very much. And Jefferson driving from where'd you come from?
Bradley Beach
Bradley
Oh,
Beach. That's half.
very
That's
nice.
all the way on the other side.
on
of
a
the
rainy
state.
on a rainy day.
That's right.
Literally, it's from east to or west to
East
east
to
to west. Yeah,
Straight
you got
across.
the Delaware River over there, and you got the Atlantic Ocean from whence you came. So, thank you guys, and good luck with your album again. Pieces of Never from Resolution Alley, and Born into a Blizzard from Jefferson Barry and the UAC. So, until next week.
Rock on!